Another tutorial for you in Cakewalk by Bandlab, a great free DAW digital audio workstation. Easy way for you to jump into it, editing, recording, mixing, growing your skills, whatever it is that you want to do. Check out this video so you can learn how to do some cool stuff with parallel mixing, editing, whatever you want to call it. And bonus, if you stick around to the end, I got a little bonus thing for you. Check it out. Enjoy the video. I wanted to take you guys through a bit of parallel mixing today, as I like to call it. It's kind of a twist on the concept of parallel compression, which you might be familiar with. It's where you take one track and then you duplicate it once, twice, 3 times, however many you need to be able to do different things to the different tracks, and then you blend them all together into one track in a bus at the end so that you can have one cohesive sound, but you've actually got 3 or 4 different sounds coming together to make that one sound that you're looking for. It's a really helpful trick, really helpful thing to do to be able to manipulate the audio in just the way. If you're struggling to get the right sound, or you feel like you really have to do a lot of editing to this one track to get the sound just right, you can try this trick out. Really handy for bass drums, snare drums, toms, bass guitars. I often will do it with bass guitars because you might have this fantastic sound of your bass guitar in your headphones or in your studio monitors, but then when you go to put it on a mobile phone, it just doesn't crack it. Doesn't hit it for you, right? You're missing all the mids, and so you need to actually create a separate track to have just that type of audio information in it that's going to be perfect for the different devices that people are going to be watching on. So have a look at this and we'll see what we can learn. This video is just a snippet on this topic, but if you want a full one, let me know and I'll put some time into it to make one for you guys. If you have questions or if you have other content you want to hear about, just let me know. First off, what I want you to do is go to this website. It's incredible. It's got hundreds of free multi-track downloads, and you're going to go and you're going to Control F, find Mr. Gonzalez here, a place for us. You're going to download the multi-track right here, save it. I've already saved it. We're going to jump into it, and then you can do this exact same track with me. Now this is quite big. It's 69 tracks, I believe. We're just going to look at a few of them today to get this point across. So let's jump into it. We're going to take this kick drum here and we're going to have a listen to that. There you go. Sounds pretty good, actually. Not too much bleed in it. Decent sounding kick. But we're just going to pretend that we want to do a whole lot of stuff to it, and we're thinking that we can't get the sound we need through just this one track. So what we're going to want to do is click on it, right click, duplicate track, and then here it gives us some options of what we want to do. We want to make sure we're not duplicating the effects or the sends, unless of course you want that. But for this particular example, we're just going to go with events, and that will duplicate the actual track itself, and it will duplicate the audio of the track. So here we go, track 2. We can rename that to kick 2, whatever you'd like to name it, to make sure that you understand what's going on. And it's also shown up down here in our console, which I've got up. You can find that in views, console view, or click the Alt 2 keyboard shortcut. So now we can dive into it. We've got our effects up here. We can do our first one on our kick drum to find out what we need to adjust there. Like I said, with this setup, you can do parallel compression. You can take the different aspects of frequencies with this. So if we wanted to, we could take this first kick drum and make this one all about the lows. So we could take that down and just work on those lows, right? So we can get that sound going just as we want. If that's what we want to do with this, then we could take the second one and then we could do the same thing but make it just about the highs, right? So this is a really good trick to be able to fine-tune the sound that you're looking for. If you're really struggling to get that sound just right, you can come in and do these things as separate individual tracks so you get just the sound that you're looking for. I'm going to just solo that separate. So there you go. Now if we wanted to, we could work on that snap, right? We could get something happening over here, change the Q on it a bit. We could go find that snap. Something like that, right? We can boost that. We can make the edits that we want with that. We can make that sound really nice, and then we could blend it in. There we go. So you've got the two of them together, they're working okay right now. And it just gives you a whole lot of control over things that perhaps you're struggling to get control over, perhaps you're struggling to get the right sound. You can separate them into different things. I find it quite helpful. I use it quite a lot, especially again looking at the bass guitar. So down here, we can have a listen to that, see what it sounds like, see what we need to edit. This one's not so bad. Often I'll get bass guitars that are really thick, really deep. They don't have much high end on them. It seems a lot of bass guitarists like that in the rock and pop kind of situations. But actually you're gonna need a bit more of the mids and the highs as well if you're gonna be listening to it on a phone device or a computer, a laptop. A lot of things that people are listening to these days, we've got to be able to hear more than just that low rumble because it's not going to show up on those devices. So this is where your parallel editing can come in handy. So again, you're going to duplicate the track. You want the event, so you get the audio with it, and you can do the exact same thing here. We're going to go ahead and name that bass 2, and then we can make any edit we want with this thing. Now we can do whatever we want. We can duplicate it 3 or 4 times. If you have some saturation plugins, you can do that here in this situation where you can saturate a certain track and you have the opportunity to blend in how much of that saturation you want. Just like parallel compression, where you're taking the raw track, duplicating it, and then you're compressing the next one to bits to where it sounds terrible, but it's actually giving you all that extra sonic info that you're looking for, and then you just slowly fade it in to where it sounds really nice. Really simple tricks at the end of the day are going to get you great sounding things. But like anything else, you've got to play with it. You've got to figure out how it works and how it works best for you. It's another tool that you can have in your tool belt so that in the right moment you can whip it out. You know, I need this sound. I'm going to duplicate this track and I'm going to get to work editing it, getting it raw, getting it the way I need it so I can get that sound to sound just right. Then you're going to blend it. So how we're going to do that here is over here. We've got our buses on this side. And then we can take what's already there, we can rename it to bass if we would like, or kick, or we can just right click and insert a stereo bus and name it whatever we would like. So we've got a bus over there. Now we can come back this way to our basses, and down here we're going to take our output from master and we're going to send it to bass. So now these 2 basses are going to go to this bass bus here. So when I play it, you're going to see it coming up here as well as there. See that? So then the same for the kick. We've got kick 1 and kick 2. We can do these here. Kick there. Unsolo that. So that way we can come over here, solo the kick, and then we can start adjusting what sound we want with it. Right? Start getting it to sound nice, blending it just right, editing each one individually. This one to me sounds like it's got a whole bunch of mids. There's some problems with it. Got to fix those problems. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about getting you ideas for how you can separate that and get clarity and clean up your different tracks really, really well. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Short, sweet, simple, to the point. And you can go in and start editing yourself and growing your own skills. And again, check out that website. It's fantastic. So much good audio there for you to go work on. Take it easy, guys. And if you've made it this far, I'm linking you just up here. So I think it's there somewhere. I'm linking you to this fantastic video. Maybe you found it already, but not sure, about a lot of stuff where I learned these things that you can check out yourself. This guy, it's about half an hour long, but it's really well worth it. It kind of also shows you that it really makes a big difference what plugins you have and what actual physical gear you've got. But this guy takes you through the same idea where he split that one track into multiple different tracks. Then he throws on a whole bunch of saturation, a whole bunch of compression and EQ and all sorts of stuff to get that great sound that he was looking for. Really good video. Bonus for you. Check it out. You're gonna learn heaps. See you later.